Good morning. This is KELOLAND on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
Crews in western KELOLAND are asking people to stay away from an area west of Mission as they continue to patrol the scene of a grass fire. The Mission Volunteer Fire Department says firefighters were called to the Highway 1883 junction just after 1:30 Tuesday afternoon. Rosebud, White River, and Wood Fire Departments also responded.
Crews arriving on scene found a grass fire threatening nearby buildings. The fire was contained at 120 acres and no buildings were lost. Officials believe that the fire was started by arcing power lines in the area. With less rain and snowfall than normal, farmers and ranchers are continuing to be impacted by drought conditions.
At Lyle Perman's operation in Lowry, he's seen 60% less moisture this winter than normal. Right now, one of his concerns is having pasture land for his cattle.
Some of the animals that will go to grass with currently are in a dry lot being fed, and they'll just stay there. And then we have the choice of, are we going to liquidate them, or are we going to continue feeding them in the feed yard? But to start with, we won't go to grass as early as normal.
In a normal year, he would let those cattle out to pasture around early May, and unless they see changes in conditions soon, those cattle will be kept in the feed yard longer.
Turning to weather now with meteorologist Scott Munt. Any relief on the way for our dry conditions, Scott?
Well, we're trying to find at least a little bit of something. We do have light snow showers falling Minnesota and northwestern Iowa for this morning. Mainly dry as we go over the next week. As we turn the page to April, things may start to change a little bit, but that's still a good week to week and a half away. Let's go and start things off with our forecast for today. Temperature at about 40 degrees for a high in Sioux Falls. A windy day, north winds 20 to 40 miles per hour. In Aberdeen, 47. We'll have increasing sunshine in northeastern South Dakota for today. Central KELOLAND Pier, high of 51. North winds at around 20 to 40 miles per hour. And western South Dakota, chance to hit the 50s in Rapid City today. Brian Carstens will have more details on your forecast coming up.
Thank you, Scott. The USD women's basketball team will head to Wichita, Kansas later this week to take on Michigan in the NCAA Tournament Sweet 16.
This will be the first time ever the USD women have gotten this far in the tournament, and students in Vermilion are excited to cheer them on.
Obviously a first for Coyote Nation, so obviously we enjoy that. Just something different. I'm surprised, but at the same time relieved and happy, and here's to hoping they continue to go on in the championship round.
We will have KELOLAND team coverage for the game in Wichita on Saturday with live reports and fan interviews. Happening later today, the Multicultural Center will host a pop-up market.
The goal is to provide affordable and accessible food options to people who need them. Items are provided by Fair Market. We'll have more on the event coming up tonight on KELOLAND News. Starting next week, a spotlight will be put on 11 restaurants in downtown Sioux Falls. Downtown Restaurant Week goes from April 1st to the 9th.
This year, the restaurants will offer dishes only available during the week. Some of the restaurants taking part are Bread and Circus, Chef Lance's, and Swamp Daddy's Cajun Kitchen. And as you get ready to head out the door, there are some road and lane closures we want to tell you about. Starting at 8:30 this morning, 33rd Street will be closed from Spring to Norton Avenue. Crews will be blacktopping where water main repairs were made. Work is expected to be completed by this afternoon.
Then tomorrow morning, the outside eastbound lane of East 10th Street will be closed east of Fairfax Avenue. Crews will be repairing inlets. Work is expected to be complete before the Thursday evening rush. Drivers may want to find different routes.
That's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Carstens. Brian?
All right, talking points today. Well, we've got that wind back East River, and as we've mentioned, these little batches of snow kind of back building a little bit here, northwest Iowa, maybe portions of extreme southeast South Dakota into the early afternoon. As a result of that, these highs are hovering in the upper 30s to near 40, Watertown to Sioux Falls. We hit the 50s west of Pier, sunshine, more of that in Rapid City. I expect clearing skies with high pressure center over central South Dakota tonight. Sioux Falls area will kind of fight that line there with the clouds a little thicker. Tomorrow, though, we'll start to push that to the east and open the door to some milder numbers. A lot of 50-degree weather on your Thursday. Not really too bad on the wind either, at least East River to start, but we do see some stronger winds returning to Rapid City as we wrap up the afternoon. Now, looking ahead to Friday, the wind machine comes back. Take a look at this. We've got a couple of items here to bring up. And first of all, the wind numbers today, you can see reflected there on your screen up to that 40-mile-per-hour mark from Watertown to Marshall. Notice tonight we dropped the winds East River into central KELOLAND. That's nice to see, but it doesn't last long. The next front comes knocking on our door from the northwest, and here it comes. It looks like on a Friday. I think Friday afternoon, if you're watching the weather there, look at all that wind. Watertown, Sioux Falls, Spencer, Iowa, 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts are likely. So I would say that's probably the worst of it for the week. 44 today, Mitchell, 50s with the sunshine west. How about that 7-day? Not any major changes. We're probably dropping things just a little bit on Saturday with that wind still out of the northwest. Sunday, Monday, warming up, but probably settling in the 50s. I would say at this point, if you're in western South Dakota, you'll have a much bigger climb on the temperature trends early next week. So Aberdeen is going to sit like Sioux Falls, 50s, maybe 57 by Monday. And then at the very end of the 7-day forecast, there is another system that'll try to come in from the northwest. We'll wait and see what that brings us. That's still a long ways off, but I do expect next week, probably Monday, about the warmest day for Pierre. It looks pretty likely that temperatures will actually settle at or below normal as we wrap up the month of March. So it's kind of the way it goes here in KELOLAND, up and down. Find out more coverage with our weather update right now at KELOLAND.com.